Recording in progress.
You know what that just reminded me of? The character in Whiskey Town who is in love with that lady, but he's never met her, but she's like the dispatch voice.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. That's I forgot about that idea. That is man, what a show that would have been. I have a lot of things. Oh, man, that would have been great.
That would have been awesome.
If I did it.
Oh, well. Ain't never going to happen.
Remember that one time I dunked? I mean, it would have been great if I did it.
If I could. Gosh. Yeah, dude. Sweet.
The heyday of things I could have done, maybe.
Yeah.
I still believe in Whiskey Town.
It's got potential.
After all these years, I'm still
bring it back.
clinging.
Mitch, did you ever hear about Whiskey Town? Did we ever tell you about that?
I've only seen the file on
Okay.
Studio Binder.
Oh,
That's
yeah, just
basically all I know
floating.
about it.
Just floating in the...
Yeah.
You've never double-clicked that bad boy?
I've never, I don't want to, since it's your Studio Binder, I don't want to get into that weird stuff, you know? I mean,
That's true. You don't want to go down that rabbit hole.
We have fun.
Yeah.
We had fun developing some ideas for it. But cool.
But
for flipping Whiskey Town.
Yeah,
Whiskey
we
Town.
almost had as much background as Lord of the Rings had, which we developed a whole world. That's what we started there.
uh-huh.
I can't. Yeah. So I was learning about J.K. Not J.K. Rowling.
J.R.
J.R. Tolkien. There's a lot of
Tolkien.
initials. It's initial last name.
And don't
It's a
even
lot
start
of
it
them.
with
Yeah.
J.R.R. Martin. That's the Game of Thrones
Are you
guy
are
or
you
gal.
serious?
Yeah, J.R.R.
Why?
Martin.
Why is it always J? Anyway,
I don't know, man.
The J's
he
have it.
started writing it. Apparently, this could be completely false. When he was like 17 years old, like that's when he started building the idea of
Lord of the Rings?
Lord of the
Really?
Rings, started creating the world, and he probably didn't have a lot of friends.
It's like, just wait, guys. When my fantasy book takes off,
Yeah, he's getting bullied, and then he just starts cursing at them in Elvish. So much whispering in Lord of the Rings is what I've noticed. I mean, Peter Jackson must have had Elijah Wood is whispering, all the elves whisper, and like it's breathy. I've got to go. Sad. It's like slow motion speaking. I really don't want to do that.
Sam.
Well, and also, like, I think Gandalf does it quite a bit too. Like, you know, the bit where he's like in the library, he's like mumbling, he's like, and like when he opens the door, he's like reading in Elvish. It opens up.
It's amazing how famous Lord of the Rings is when 90% of it is utter nonsense.
That's fantastic.
It's great.
Oh, 0% of utter
I
nonsense.
think I think the
What
soundtrack.
we're living in today, 90% of this is utter nonsense.
Yeah.
It's true.
I would take the
makes more
Shire over
sense.
this, man.
Yeah. Oh, who wouldn't?
I would take the Shire where the Uruk-hai are on their way over what we're living in right now.
Let 'em come. Man. The music soundtrack, though. Let's talk soundtrack. Probably, this is maybe an overstatement. 40% of why those movies are so good. Because don't get me wrong, the movies are good. But if you lose that music,
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
I mean,
goosebumps.
isn't that true for every movie though? You know, like Jaws. You know, if you don't have the bum,
it's true.
you know, just a guy swimming, just paddling.
What happens if you lose it? Like, what happens if you lose? Like, what would be a terrible soundtrack for Lord of the Rings? Like, what would you not want to put? Like, let's picture the scene, and then come up with like a banjo.
Well, I was thinking
Ding, ding,
the
ding, ding, ding.
Seinfeld bass line. like in Two Towers when the Riders of Rohan are going down the hill and Gandalf's going, you know, what's the deal with these Uruk-hai? A little bit of light and they're taken out.
Oh
This guy's never heard of sunglasses.
That's a good dude. Hey, there's a bit for you. Doing a comedian inside of worlds, like fantasy worlds. Like if Seinfeld was in Harry Potter, what kind of jokes would he make? If Seinfeld was in those fantasy worlds, what kind of? I have nothing. That is literally
Like
just a pitch for you.
The observations that they would see.
Exactly.
That'd be so great.
That's kind of fun to play with. Because
I
what
don't
you
even-
just did was perfect. Never heard of sunglasses? Like that's I just watched that scene yesterday because my sister was watching the second one. And it's true. It's
Classic.
like their spears go all wonky.
Yeah, I know. They're all like, ugh.
It's like, just hold steady, guys. Come on.
Yeah, grow up. Close your eyes. Close your eyes and hold still, you wimp.
The spear's going to do its job. You just got to trust it.
So before we go on to anything, is Return of the King your favorite of the three?
It's a toss between the second and the third, I think.
I thought you said it's a toss-up between the three.
It's a toss.
Yeah, that is the entire discussion
That's
question.
what was asked. Yeah. I think minus the Frodo scenes, yes. You get the third movie, I could fast forward through every single Frodo scene. Yes. Which I've done.
You need the Frodo scenes because of Sam.
Yes, well, Sam's the best. Sam's great. Yeah, you get
Sam's
his monologue in there, and we'll stay for
Dude,
that.
those two are stressful.
But Frodo, dude, I like Elijah Wood. I think I don't know. I've seen him in like one thing, which is Lord of the Rings, but I don't know. It's just I don't miss it if I fast forward past it.
No, it's just 30 minutes of Elijah Wood with sweaty lips.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dude. I love it. You know, like the whole Sam. Oh, I know exactly what bit of the movie you're talking about.
Every
too.
time he gets stabbed, every
stabbed by
time. It happens
Sheila.
four
Which is more
times.
than
Mitch.
one.
It happens every spider, spear, sword. I mean, it's like, and it's just constipated sound instantly.
And it's 30 minutes long. Oh, man.
Gosh.
I hope that joke ages well for you, Evan, if you ever get stabbed.
Yeah, I'm like, if I get stabbed, I'm like, I know what to do. That's how I want to go.
Yeah, no. You'll be stabbed. You'll be like, you know what? I was too hard on Elijah Wood.
He nailed it.
My apologies.
Overwhelmed with
you know what?
empathy
I
for
gotta send a
Elijah Wood. Like to redact my hateful jokes.
I have so much regret. Oh my gosh, he was right. Oh my gosh. It does feel like this. I feel good. Got back on the Peloton. Plug there.
Wow.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Guys, Brent, this episode definitely not brought to you by Peloton.
One day, dude, I would be a Peloton instructor so fast
for
a low
you.
impact
Oh, yeah.
I see
course.
that for you.
Oh my gosh.
I think you need like a different haircut though, like a cooler hair, or like cuts in your
keep
eyebrows.
growing
Just something a
your
little
hair out.
different.
So
Tie back in a pony.
I've been
a top
riding.
pony.
My favorite people who instruct the rides are definitely the women. Like they're more fun.
I bet.
But also they get to wear cooler clothes, and they get to wear like neon stuff, and their sports bras are much cooler, and like.
Much cooler than
I
guys'
wanna
sports
crop-
bras.
Yeah, guys' sports bras are so lame.
Well, I'm like, is there like is there like crop tops that I could like wear during this? I'm not. It's weird. It's weird. When you get into the culture, you kind of just really want to go all, for me. Maybe
get
not
into
everybody.
Dude, I honestly I completely agree with you because like women have it
I'm telling
worse in like every single category except for clothing.
Right.
They have so much freedom. They have so many different options, purses, skirts. You know, I mean, they get everything. We just have khakis.
Yeah.
We just have different types of khaki.
For dressing up. Oh, I could go a
Exactly.
little darker, I guess. What kind of?
I would take the pay cut for better clothing options.
Well, they will argue about pockets, though. That's where they're going to come at you with that statement with clothing.
Oh,
They're
you
going to be
know
like,
what?
oh, well, pockets.
Dude, honestly,
Yeah.
they don't have
They have a
pockets.
purse. That's like an infinity
They don't need 'em.
of pockets.
You got
They get to carry their pockets. I tried to start wearing a fanny pack this week. I'm not sure I can do it. I'm not sure I can pull it off.
I think it's just going to be a thing that you just have to work through it.
I mean, it's
get
so
there.
practical. Like the times that I've worn it and I need my keys or I needed an essential oil for my tummy and it was in my
peppermint.
No, Digest actually.
Oh,
Dude, so that was great, but just the look of it, you know, like I have this inner critic that's like, bitch, bitch.
Well, the inner critic's right, but the thing is, you have to push through. The inner critic is correct
dude.
about it, but the fanny pack
Totally a bitch pack.
is totally 100%. There's no.
I've
there's
been
no doubt.
rocking a fanny pack for 3.5 years now.
Yeah.
Because I hated sitting on my wallet.
Dude, that's
was
exact. My
just the
wallet
weird-
and my
the
keys.
tilt.
Yeah, and it's
Now
bad for
you're
your
tilted
back.
the whole time.
It's bad for your back.
That's interesting. That's interesting you bring that up because I recently did a before and after. Back on the Peloton, I took a before photo of my journey that is in my hidden photos that will not be shared until maybe ever. But I was used to my image of being you see yourself in the mirror every day and you're like, oh, that's how I look like. I took a photo and instantly after I saw it, I said, I have scoliosis. I am crooked. I am crooked. But I sit on my wallet all the time and I'm like, again, it hurts my hips. I'm telling you, if there was an argument for fanny packing, I might be the poster child. I might be the poster child because I have scoliosis, guys.
I am sorry about your diagnosis.
I literally was like, there's no way I look like this, guys. Like, no one told me. No one told me I'm crooked. Like, my belly button is not centered, and I don't feel good about it. So, working through that. Oh, man.
Well, yeah,
Fanny pack, though.
I would love to. Maybe one day I'll be strong enough to. I mean, I carry it around now kind of begrudgingly. Like, I just hold it like a clutch purse.
Oh, that's
which
cool.
might be worse than just owning it and strapping it over my
That's
neck.
way worse.
I just am holding a bag. It's a handbag. Now
It's
I have
like holding a
handbag.
lunchbox or something.
Yeah. A lunchbox with chapstick in it.
One, you only have chapstick. Oh, sorry. One. Question. Trey,
You're still too afraid to put stuff in the fanny pack, so you still put your phone in your wallet in your pocket.
Just like,
oh
no.
It's just a chapstick holder.
That's better.
We need to come up with a date in March that we're going to do our show. We just need to pick the weekend, do 2 shows, and put it in the calendar and just no takebacks. You know,
What if we?
No
Hey,
takebacks.
what would be wild is what if we did it right here, right now? I'm already there.
Okay,
Did you say March?
March.
Okay.
Okay.
Dude. And I gotta
Well,
say,
that doesn't work for me.
Podcast listeners love when you organize stuff on
Yeah, we're
air.
gonna just
So, guys,
organize
if you
an
guys
event
could just
while
listen
we're
for a
recording.
second, we're just gonna be.
Like, no, that one doesn't work for me.
No, I can't.
The doctor's
I
appointment.
can't do that. Let's do the 25th of March, which is a Friday.
That's amazing. 25th and 26th
Yeah.
Freaking
in permanent
boom.
ink. I will get it. It'll be my second
25th,
tattoo.
26th.
Those dates.
Yeah. It's like in Roman numerals on my heel.
Like, what is that? It's a show you played. We actually canceled it, but
We actually didn't get to, we didn't actually get to get it together in time, but but man, it's pretty sick though.
tell them the whole story of like why it didn't happen. Yeah, the venue we wanted was closed. They were doing like a pizza night, and then like Evan's sister graduated nursing school, so
It was just a collision of things, really. But you schedule a tattoo. You scheduled a tattoo and got the tattoo. Well, yeah, we did that. Spent a lot of time.
much easier it is getting a tattoo than setting up a comedy show.
It really, it's something else. But we plan on having it sometime. Just crossed out every time. New tattoos.
yeah. Dude, I love that though. The 25th and 26th.
25th,
Let's do it.
26th. Awesome.
I can already
Freaking
tell
do it,
those are
guys.
historic dates.
Oh wow. They're gonna reflect back. I'm like, hey, what?
Uh-oh.
2022. What? Do you have a conflict? Do you have a conflict right now?
A conflict? No. I was just saying, about how epic it was.
Oh
uh-oh.
yeah. Oh, we were
Get ready.
Oh no.
Oh no, they're not ready for us.
Never will be. Never will be. Oh man. That's yeah. Cool.
Nice.
Awesome. Should we dive into some material? You
Let's
guys want
dive
to share
into
some
material.
stuff?
Yeah, I'm not going
I,
first this time.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, since I am the 100% the least prepared, once again, I just not like it's. I need to stop making excuses. I don't have any. I have I have a joke that that I'll kind of just talk about out loud, and I can't remember if I brought this up to you guys before, but heck, we're on a podcast now, so let's do it. This one is back to middle school talking about it, and this is how I kind of want to frame it. So I had in middle school, 7th grade, I had to break up with my girlfriend, which was like the most nerve-wracking thing. It was my first breakup. Like it was the first time I had to call it ends. It just wasn't working. It just wasn't working. And my friend was like, he was encouraging me. He's like, Evan, you're going to feel so much better if you just call it. If you just break up with her, do the right thing and break up with her. And so I did what any middle school boy, I called her. I got on my phone and I dialed the number and I said what I needed to say. I laid it all out on the line, and I got off my chest. And honestly, I know it wasn't the most brave way to go about it, but I felt really good, like a lot of freedom. And I learned in that moment, like, okay, yeah, it's good to own stuff. I think there's, things that we could be done better. I knew that in person was probably the way to go. But the next day, I see my ex-girlfriend, and she comes up to me, and she gives me this huge hug, and she gives me this big hug. And in that moment, I knew that she probably hadn't checked her voicemail yet. So So, and that was when I learned the next lesson, which was if you're going to break up over the phone, don't do it via voicemail. And that is the premise of the joke that I want to kind of tie into it about breakups. But that's the story. That's the true story. I'll never forget leaving the voicemail on there. She comes to me, gives me a hug. I'm like, hi. Oh, did you get that? Did you get that message? He didn't. So that's
how did you eventually break the news to her?
Oh, I told her to look at her voicemail, and I ran.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah. No, I told her, I was like, I called. I think I had to be like, I broke up with you yesterday. You need to check your voicemail. It wasn't good. And
you should have been like, hey, you want to play a freeze tag?
So,
you're right. By the way, check your voicemail. Bye.
So I think that's like the premise. I want to bring that story. I want to tie in some more notes to it. Tie about like maybe like previous breakup stuff. I think there's a way to build up that story to be where it could be kind of fun. Let's see. I have actually a screenshot of some other jokes. This is a bit I call Never Proud Energy Drink. And it's energy drink for people who aren't loved by their dads, and which is just people who drink energy drinks. So I kind of want it to be just like a never proud energy. It's like, and like I think we were talking about this. This was a bit we were working with my brothers. Like the flavors were like just like not good enough lemon. Like just I can't. We had more clever ones I've written down somewhere, but just like the flavors of the energy drink are like just about being a son that is just not good enough, and playing with that idea, like building a commercial about never proud, like
never played catch cranberry.
Exactly. It's like drop the ball blueberry or something like that. Just like Butterfinger. Yeah, I don't know. I got nothing on that. But the idea of doing a commercial about never proud energy, which I think is mostly just a stupid gag for a commercial.
I love that.
Yeah, it's good. If you guys want to brainstorm some, like just start pitching some ideas for flavors, I think that could be kind of fun.
Well, you know, something I realized from this week and last week is like just the way that you say your ideas is so funny that could be like almost
maybe that's
part of your style.
Yeah, like, okay, guys, I don't know what I'm doing here, but like, pitching ideas.
Honestly,
that's cool.
Honestly, being like, I'm not sure if any of this is gonna work, you know, but like you've worked it out clearly. But yeah, just the way you introed that joke was so funny. Like never proud energy drinks, which is anyone who drinks an energy drink. Like that right there.
Just reel off
that's
like you're
good.
Like you're like, hey, comedy might not work out for me, guys. So
Yeah.
I have a list of other business ideas.
That's a good idea.
And then you're
business
like,
ideas. I'm gonna write
because
that
I
down.
feel like you have a few jokes like that are like,
I have a lot of crappy business ideas too. So
yeah, there you go. And then that never proud energy drink.
Candy cup, guys. Candy cup, a cup of just candy it's not a very thought out plan. Besides just a cup of candy. I realized this is true. I mixed chocolate with Sour Patch, and I was like, oh, I would have never. Well, these two never would go together. And I was like, if there was a cup of connoisseur candy that is like somebody who really knows how to make a good mixture. Anyway, that's the candy cup. We could talk about that later. That's terrible business. Got a logo for it. Doesn't matter. The other
Patent pending.
The other thing. What did I want to bring up? I have written in my notes, Dove chocolate for men. And it's just when you eat Dove chocolate, the little notes that you get in the inside, and it's just like, what would the notes be for men? That's all I've got. The premise is there. We got a lot of blueprints, and then
like all the notes could be super vague stuff like, "How you doing?
Hey."
Like just all small talk, just different ways to sing like "Hey."
That's it. It's just small talk. How about that game? Oh, it was good.
Or like grilling advice.
Or just passive aggressive. I think there's might be a couple things you could do, like different brands of Dove. It's like ones that make kind of shame you. Like, is this your third one? Like question mark. It's like eating the chocolate. It's like, maybe it's time to put the bag down. And just like start shaming them for like, yeah, stop. I don't know. Anyway, we got that one. Let's see. Last one maybe we can talk about for me is, this was a revelation. This is more of a story that maybe we could figure out how to, turn into something. But I thought it was common knowledge or common practice amongst elementary school girls that if they liked a boy they kicked him really hard in the shins. I just thought that was it. I thought, because when I was in elementary school, I sat across from this girl, and I think she would always flirt with me by kicking me really hard in the shins. And so one day I was bringing my sister, I was like, oh, you'd kick the shins of boys to, she's like, what are you talking about? I was like, like when you like a boy, like you kick him really hard in the shin. And she's like, no, never. And so it was like this realization that I was just abused. I was just bullied for a whole year by a girl that I thought liked me. I was like, I think she just kicked me in the shin. But I want to turn it into a musical. Like, have you ever kicked the shins of boys? I want to write like some songs around like, I've never kicked the shins of boys. I think if you could write a little musical number around the shins of boys.
The shins of boys.
The shins of boys.
Holy crap.
Anyway.
Boys and their shins.
Did you ever get kicked in the shins as boys? No?
I don't remember a
For
specific
sure, no.
time.
No, really. So you're saying, because this is, oh man, I feel like me and my friends always had bruised shins. Always had bruised shins from girls kicking us in the
Maybe
shins.
I just wasn't a lady killer like you.
Yeah, man. I can tell you. I'm in a wheelchair. I was. Yes, I am.
Walking around on crutches.
Tiny Tim in it. Yeah,
Man, I wish
they're
you guys-
after me this year.
You guys getting some
Tiny
action.
Tim in it.
Tiny Tim in it, dude. He's the heartthrob, dude. Freaking bruised shins. Such a vulnerable place.
I wear shin guards to work now. I wear shin guards to
Yeah,
school.
can you? That's a good idea. It's like, that's a good bit right there. It's like, what would have happened if I kind of Thanos moment, have a shin guard, she kicks it, and I'm like, yeah, well, nice try. The thing is, the girls knew you could never kick them back, so the boys, you just had to take it. You're like,
Dude, you went to a rough school.
yeah, dude, waxed floors, shin kickers. Gosh, man, elementary school, dangerous.
What did you say?
In fifth grade, if a girl liked you, she just stabbed you.
Yeah, just shanked you and ran. She shanked and ran, man. Yeah, that's how they told you. Anyway.
Shanked her initials.
Yeah, I'm like,
Emily.
will you be my Valentine? Will you be my Valentine? That's how you do it, dude. Yeah, getting
Back
stabbed.
to Elijah Wood and all comes back.
Hey, Frodo Baggins. Oh man. Yeah, so I got nothing baked. So second week, strike two. Going to come out with I got some more written stuff, but I'm down to chill and talk and maybe we workshop some stuff with you guys. So
I love that. No, dude, those are some good ideas. I love
That's all
the
I
idea
got.
of doing something like you just have a whole, like you actually take a book on stage with you and it's like
business
ideas.
crappy business
Yeah.
ideas.
Yeah.
I think it could be super fun.
Yeah.
I think especially with like, everybody wants to be an entrepreneur and just pitching that idea of like, yeah, well, I've got some ideas for you. If you framed it like, hey guys, looking for like business partners, and maybe you could like kind of like frame in some crowd work. What do you do? And then being like, trying to find somebody. But
Yeah, no, I think there's so much there.
if you could find somebody that was like any way you could tie them into like the business, like,
Right.
okay, well, how much money do you got? Like, just talking to them.
Yeah. There's so much like improv and crowd work you could do.
Yeah,
just from
that'd
that.
be super
like,
fun.
Just having prompts for yourself on stage.
Yeah.
And then depending on how the audience responds, you just kind of go into it more or just move on.
Just like, and I'm done with that's my whole set. All right, guys. Yeah. No, crappy business ideas.
Sometimes it lasts like an hour and a half, and sometimes it's like 4 minutes.
And then there's that one rare occasion where we actually strike gold and have the best business idea ever. It was crazy, guys. Yeah, I'm on YouTube for like 5 months later in the ad.
Yeah.
I was on stage. I used to be poor just like you, all right?
Yeah.
Listen
I
to
was
this
a
5-minute
loser,
course.
just
Then I
Five
started-
minute
I
course.
started Candy Cup.
Yeah. Candy Cup, dude. Connoisseur Candy Cup.
It's a blend of unlikely candies.
That's your tagline. That's it. I'm telling you. Someone's going to do it. Someone's going to do it now.
a blend of unlikely candies.
That's such a good slogan. Oh, man. Perfect.
That's awesome.
Just imagine this podcast is brought to you by Candy Cup, blend of unlikely.
We got our first sponsor.
Yeah, dude. It's just me with a bunch of candy around.
Yeah.
Pouring it into plastic cups and saran wrapping it, rubber banding it.
Tootsie Rolls and gummy bears don't go together.
Or do they? Yeah, that could be. We could make a whole podcast for Candy Cup. This week
Gummy
we're gonna be
rolls and Tootsie Bears.
diving into different fruit flavors that complement well with Crunch Bars. The pop of the Crunch Bar going into a strawberry gummy bear was surprising. We'll be back right after.
said, "This idea will never work."
You have to get really close to the mic though when you talk about candy.
Yeah.
So that's it. Maybe Candy Cup just stays on this podcast and I'll never bring it up anywhere else.
Or maybe I take your idea and make $1 million. How about that?
I would be pissed if like we have one guy who stumbles across this podcast. He's like, I have $1 million. I'm going to do that just to spite him. Oh. And it's such a good name.
Candy Cup is mine.
The alliteration. Ugh. The 2 C's. Come on.
Never fails.
Candy Cup. An unlikely blend of candy. All right, Trey, take it away. Or friggin' Mitch, what do you guys got? Moving on from me.
Mitch, do you want to go? Or do you want me to go?
I'll go because I basically only have like one thing. So I've had this idea for a while. Because I have a big family. I have 4 siblings, and I love my family so much. And as you know, anytime you say you love something, you're about to like tear into it. And I love my family a lot, but trying to plan anything with them is so stressful and god awful. I hate it so much. And so I was trying to do so like I'm just gonna talk it out. I'm gonna talk it out. So
do it.
We were in Texas when we were all hanging out, and we did an escape room together. And this escape room was a lot of fun. It was like teamwork, camaraderie. We had to get all these clues, and it was a blast. We had a great time. And then that night, I did a comedy show. We all had a great time. And then afterwards, we were outside of the comedy show, and everyone was trying to decide what car to go in to go home. And I realized that was far more complicated than the escape room, with my grandma being like, well, I can't go with Glenn. I got it. And it like, honestly, trying to plan any regular ass event with my family is like trying to make a picnic in the middle of a tornado. You're like, oh, I got my blanket out. Oh, no, that flew away. Okay, perfect. Great. I still got my basket. Nope, that flew away too. Okay, great. And it's like, anytime I try and bring up anything like, hey guys, we said we would leave by 7:00. And it's 10:57 p.m. Everybody's like, oh, Mitch, you're such a killjoy. I can't win. I can't freaking win.
I like this. I like this premise. Right as you tell it, are you done? Are you keep going?
Yeah. That's because super done.
The first thing I want to hear more about is like when you bring up escape room, I almost want to hear how proficient your family did. If you guys did it really well, I feel like there could be a lot of comparisons side by side of like, well, where's the key? Well, clearly the key is here because of the letter A on that wall. It's pointing to this. And then like when it gets to the outside, it's like, where's the keys? I thought you had them. Like just like the contrast between the two different, like the escape room and then right outside of the escape room. I think that's such a fun, because escape rooms have all these little niche creative things that you could bring out to the outside world.
Oh, and you know what? That's even better of making the conflict right after the escape room. Yeah. That makes it way okay.
That's kind of even when you told the story. I think that's what I was thinking. I was thinking like, oh, you did the escape room, and then right as you guys were trying to plan out how to go home after the escape room, it went to hell, which I think is like a really fun. It's like a funny idea.
You wanted to go back into the escape room for just a little bit of competence.
For just some peace. Just some peace and quiet.
Exactly, and a time limit.
That's great.
I could say like all the pros of being in an escape room.
Yeah.
That's funny. Like, no, actually, just leave me here. I'm fine. Don't want to escape the escape room. No, I think that's super fun. That's a great premise, man.
There's also the angle of but this would be kind of completely different, but the angle of like your family suggests going to an escape room and then you're like, pay money to get locked in a room with you guys. And then you're like, if I want to be confused for an hour, I don't have to pay for an escape room. And then you walk through like every day you're together is like an escape room. So good. And then you bring in the analogy of like how it's like even just opening the next door. It's like you get in a fight with your brother and then your grandma's outside and she's waiting and there's a time limit and
Oh, I like that. I really like that idea.
That's a good idea too. Dang.
You could just make the leaving the house the escape room, which is super funny. Well, I don't know where the keys is. I was like, where's the that's super fun. You could have a lot of fun with that.
You couldn't get to the escape room.
Never made it to the escape room on time.
You couldn't figure out who was riding with who.
Missed the appointment. Yeah. That's fantastic.
It's so freaking funny.
Idea.
Yeah, I think I actually jotted down something in my notes from that same escape room experience because I was there. And
dude,
I'm glad to see you guys
we nailed it.
Got out. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
we killed it.
Yeah, we had like we used 0 hints and we had like 10 minutes to spare.
Trey, you got any You got any yolks?
Oh yeah, dude.
I've got some stuff.
Mm.
I kind of want to do. I have a few that are just stupid ideas that I don't know. So this first one is Chuck E. Cheese is a casino for children.
Oh, that's a great. That's a great connection.
So I don't know. I thought it'd be fun to like expand on like why, you know, like you've got sad kids playing the slot machines, sitting there, smoking a cigarette, or like at the end do something that obviously no kid's doing, like start very like tit for tat, you know. You've got the high rollers, you know, these kids, they think they're gonna win the electric guitar, you know, with their tokens or their tickets. Because they got money, so they're playing the exciting games. Then you have the sad kids who are sitting there on the arcade equivalent of a slot machine, just putting a token in, smoking a cigarette.
I think you just make it an old guy, like it's still the same old guy. He's like it's just an old creepy guy who's like,
oh yeah, at a casino you have an old guy sitting there on the slot machines, and at Chuck E. Cheese you have an old guy sitting there smoking a cigarette.
It could be like if you do like an old man voice, but he says the words a toddler would say. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This machine is wigged. Like that type of. Mom, I need more quarters. I don't even think they have quarters anymore.
Chuck E. Cheese. Can you read it? Chuck E. Cheese is a casino for children. I like how
they were the original.
There's something
Bitcoin,
about
if you think
how
about
many.
it.
If you're looking at like how many C's.
Oh,
it's
100%.
a fun sentence. Chuck E. Cheese is a casino for children.
Yeah,
that's a fun sentence to say.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's a tongue twister.
Hey, you actually can't say
Chuck E. Cheese is a casino for children.
Is a casino for children where I don't know. Is there an additional tagline you could add to the end of that? Like I don't have one. I'm just thinking like
come with solutions, Evan, not questions.
I'm like
Holy
children,
shit.
like where the children like this is stupid. Like where the parents pay, or where it's a casino for children where I don't know. I'm just thinking maybe it doesn't need it. Actually, probably doesn't. But just
where rich kids can feel rich. Or like something classist. Not that. That was stupid.
Where rich kids feel rich.
You're good, Trey. You're good.
That was the second time today I've started a joke and then just completely ran out of energy and inspiration.
No, I really like it. I kind of want to, if you talk, the reason I think my brain went to like, if you could also bring in what are the parents doing there, like, or how they're enabling this behavior of like children, like just take my money. The
parents are their ATM machines.
Yeah. Exactly.
Instead of going to the ATM machine, you go to your parents.
Something with the parents would be kind of fun. Just like
ATM machines. ATM.
Yeah. And so, yeah, you can always talk about, cause you know, like I assume people when they're gambling, they always talk about like, I'm going to hit the jackpot.
Yeah.
You know, but these, you know, I'm going to get the bear.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'm going to get that friggin' bear.
You have to have the friend that knows the friend that knows the friend that won the jackpot.
Oh,
like, oh
yeah.
well.
Or someone who like has an inside scoop, you know?
Yeah.
Like when you do the skee ball, make sure you shoot a little to the left. Don't tell anyone I told you this.
That's the old guy. That's the old guy.
Yeah,
who's there. He
exactly.
just mastered it. Like,
yeah, like 13-year-old.
There is no smoking in here. How many times? This is not a casino. Smells like one. Smells like one. Anyway.
Yeah, I'll be in the slide.
He's like in the ball pit, dude. So he like kind of emerges. Come here. Come here. And when he's done with his sage wisdom, he goes back into the balls.
Sliding into the ball pit. Now, if you don't mind, I got a date with Destiny. And he just slides. Who is Destiny in this? Is she in the ball pit?
She comes up, breathes out her cigarette, and goes back.
Oh, there's Destiny.
Oh, there she is.
Oh, hey, Destiny.
Destiny
from school. That makes sense.
Makes so much sense now.
That's great. No, I think I want to do like a whole. I a long time ago had a bit on Chuck E. Cheese, but it was kind of just a tag onto a joke of like how sad my Christmases were. I don't remember. Like the joke was something about
that Chuck E. Cheese is correlated with that. It's so sad.
Yeah, no, it was. To me, Chuck E. Cheese was the ultimate like flex. Like when you were 12 and you were out of tokens, like there was like that moment where you just realized like, oh, I'm poor, and like your friend just had bags full of tokens. You know, you're like, dude, where'd you get those? And he's like, I asked my mom. You should ask your mom. Like, here's the thing about my mom. She says no.
It doesn't work that way.
Often.
Freaking Brandon.
I stole these tokens from you, Drew. My mom's not even here.
Talk about him giving you a pity one. He's like, "Oh, just play this," and then you lose.
This one's on me.
Losing. Oh, next time.
It's on me.
Hey, next time, man. I'm gonna go play this. He's got all the
I'm gonna
tickets.
go play Spider Stomp.
That's a good point, Mitch. If you can find very specific Spider Stomp. That made me laugh right there. Spider Stomp made me laugh.
From the creators of Dance Dance Revolution.
Spider Stomp. Finding specific games and bringing it up.
I love Spider Stomp. They were always like, oh, ow, hey, oh.
Wait, it was a real thing.
You guys don't remember Spider
Never
Stomp?
played Spider Stomp. I never went to Chuck E. Cheese. We didn't have one in my town. That was a luxury of Billings, Montana, not Bozeman.
Because you guys had
people travel, dude.
Guys...
People travel to go to Chuck E. Like, we're going to Billings. We're going to Chuck E. Cheese. Get out. 3-hour
Why
journey.
are we going to Billings? Why else would we go to Billings?
Chuck E. Cheese. Where a kid can be a kid.
Oh, dude. Actually, I forgot about that tag. That what is it called? A mod slogan? Where
a kid can be a kid. That could be fun to play with.
Oh yeah.
Where a kid can be addicted.
Yeah. Going back to the whole if it's like a I don't know, like the mob type of voice guy, like, hey, we're Chuck E. Cheese. This is where a kid can be a kid, you know?
Well, come on in. Come on in.
Hey,
Smith pizza.
me and familia. We're just kids being kids.
I think everybody brings this up with Chuck E. Cheese, but the pizza was. Have you ever had? I mean, the pizza's the worst pizza.
Oh yeah.
I know someone who literally goes to Chuck E. Cheese and just takes a pizza to go.
How old
An
are
adult.
they?
He's in their 30s. They go. They call ahead, order a pepperoni pizza from Chuck E. Cheese. I can't say.
Oh, they need to be exposed so bad, Trey. This is your moment.
He stands by it.
No, this is
He's
healing
like,
for
it's
them.
the best pizza. And
oh, buddy. Oh, just imagine when he goes to Italy and he's like, he gets a real pizza and he's like, nope, Chuck E. Cheese, nope.
Yeah.
He's like, nope, actually I lied. Oh, you know what? To each their own, but just because that's the case.
What is on this pizza? Like, sir, it's the most exquisite cheese from our Italian dairy cows. He's like, yeah, it's missing a little something for me.
Do you guys have any cardboard in the back that I can just eat?
No, he actually does. Like regularly, he goes and gets a Chuck E. Cheese.
Does he do it
pizza.
shamefully? Because
he's probably the only person that keeps Chuck E. Cheese in business right now.
No, they know him on a first name basis.
My question is, does he do it like kind of secret? Like, does he go in or does he have it delivered? He's like,
just leave it on my porch.
Could you just leave it outside?
No, I found out about this because he was bragging about it.
Oh.
He was bragging about how they know him by name at Chuck E. Cheese.
I don't know him, and so I feel like bad attacking a person, but man, that is some poor life decisions.
He's made a lot of other good ones, so it kind of balances out. Well, the hilarious thing is this guy's actually really picky. He's actually a connoisseur of a lot of other stuff, but when it comes to pizza, for whatever reason, Chuck E. Cheese.
Hey, you know what?
Do I know this person?
Most of us do, yeah.
Well, I apologize for disagreeing with you,
but I can't out him.
No, you can't, and I respect
it's
that.
his story to tell. You know,
it's really he's telling it too, and he's out there telling it.
So we'll have him as a guest.
My next podcast, we can bring him in, give him a nice Chuck E. Cheese pizza, set him up, and be like, "Hey, buddy, what?" No, yeah, he's probably got a lot more figured out in life than I do. So yeah.
Wait, something I gotta look up. What is Chuck E. Cheese's name? He has like a full name. It's something like Chuckford.
Is it Charlie?
Chuckford Entertainment Cheese.
Oh, that's what the E stands for?
Ooh, yes.
His middle name is
Chuckford?
Entertainment?
Yeah, I gotta look this up. What is Chuck E. Cheese's name?
It's like Chuck.
Come on.
Idiot.
Charles Entertainment Cheese.
What's Charles? It's Charles, dude. I'm heading off to
I didn't know that Chuck E. Cheese was
when
black.
He goes to go
That's
buy.
totally a black dude.
Charles Entertainment Worldwide.
My name's Charles Entertainment
Entertainer Cheese.
Is that how you make it? Like you discreetly tell people you're going to? Yeah, we're heading off to Charles E tonight, man.
We're gonna eat at
Charles E, baby.
Charles's Entertainment Lounge.
What is this? It's got a lot of games. That's very fun.
Have you ever been to a Charles Entertainment Bistro?
I don't.
It's an Italian establishment.
Yeah, a little bit of a rodent problem, but
it's my favorite Italian restaurant. It's like Olive Garden, Chuck E. Cheese.
Charles Entertainment. That's good. That's fun facts. I did not know that. Trey, do you have more for us? Do you have more jokes? That you
I've got more. Yeah, I honestly didn't expect us to talk about that one.
That's fun. That's fun to talk about.
This is extra stupid. It's just Make-A-Wish kids who survive.
Yeah, do they feel guilty?
Do they have to pay it back?
Do they feel guilty? Like, well,
I mean, there has to be consequences, right? You can't just take advantage. Like if they get a miracle, but they've already met Peyton Manning.
Oh my gosh, that's a great premise. Make-A-Wish survivors. Oh, that's dark. That is so funny. They're like,
they have to leave some collateral or something.
You could do a little mafia joke there for sure. Like, so
they visit you like you're 30.
I hear you lived. The boy who lived, huh?
Yeah.
Well.
Congratulations.
Did you enjoy your dream Disneyland experience when you were 12? I did, yeah. How'd you get that? Well, actually, it's a funny story. I was dying. And then these nice people came and they're like, what do you want to do? And I was like, go to Disneyland. And then I did. And then they found a cure for my thing. And yeah, and it's
how
great.
Convenient. He's like, got a bat.
Yeah, it turns out that's
a good
like you signed something, like the paperwork for that.
They get to take
very closely related is canceling your Feed the Children subscription. And like that phone conversation.
COVID was dark for you.
Yeah.
Trey had to make some choices.
But no, like that's the thing. It's like
it's real.
At what point, when you're like budgeting and you're like, we really need $30 a month. But like we've canceled everything else.
But you haven't. You still have Netflix.
Yeah, the sad thing is like, well, I can't cancel Netflix.
I mean,
there's like 12 people logged into my username. People are counting.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like whatever relevant, you're like, I'm right in the middle of House of Cards.
Yeah. For sure. Once I finish Big Mouth season 4, I will.
Yeah.
For the children.
I will renew my Feed the Children.
Oh, that is a funny premise. Oh, I like that's so dark and funny.
I will keep paying for Oboe's rice.
Oh.
Hey, I'm sorry. I thought we were here to work out some jokes. I didn't realize there's a podcast of saying serious things that I really mean.
Did you call him Oboe? That's why he was left at an orphanage.
The name is more offensive than
his name is the worst instrument in an orchestra by far. If you're named after the one
Phil,
sound,
if we could bleep out that name.
No, I like it. No one named Oboe is listening to this podcast, and if they are, they need to go legally change their name.
Yeah,
Oboe. Oboe's rice. Sounds like a good brand. I only eat Oboe's rice.
Okay, we'll move on.
That's close like Uncle Ben's,
Exactly. That's
like,
too close.
Right.
Too close. It's Mr. Ben's now, right? Mr. Ben's rice.
Yeah.
Or is it just the logo
know.
that's canceled? It can still be Uncle Ben. It's not racist to have an Uncle Ben. It's racist.
Dude. That's the one thing about it I do not get. Where they were like, Aunt Jemima, you're going down. And it's like, isn't that kind of the opposite of what we're trying to do here?
Let's start erasing black people off of brands.
Oh my gosh. The most beloved sweet figure. Get her out of here. Oh my gosh.
Aunt Jemima got me through some tough times, man.
My goodness.
So did Uncle Ben. Okay, we'll lighten things up a little bit. That was just for me.
Oboe's rice.
Okay, so I have this whole bit that I've done several times about being homeschooled, growing up homeschooled, and so I want to flesh it out and just make it more robust and kind of go into it's kind of surfacey. So like the part that I have told on stage before is like I was homeschooled growing up. Anyone else have a fake diploma?
That's good.
And that usually gets a lot because like people like raise their hand when I say anyone else. They'll like raise their hand and then I say have a fake diploma.
Perfect.
And it's like
that's great.
And then I go into something like if you've ever wondered what it's like to be homeschooled, just imagine you're stuck at home and then you go to bed. That's all there is to the homeschool experience. It's playing the Oregon Trail till it's time to do chores, and then I do a couple other things, but some different stuff I was playing around with is like actual stories from being homeschooled. and talking about my dad. So I'll just read verbatim what I have. Being homeschooled was a lot of reading my Bible, doing chores, and bothering my mom. I knew we bothered her a lot because she told us. And then my dad would come home and be like, time for science. And then he'd pull out the Bible again. Sex ed was self-taught, and that didn't go very well. I taught myself using TV, but we didn't have cable, so that wasn't very good. I remember watching a show, and this guy, on the show said, hey, so this morning I woke up and I had a huge epiphany. And so I thought that an epiphany was an erection. And I was like, that puts language to what I've been experiencing when I wake up in the morning. And so, like, one time, this is a very true story. My dad decided to have the talk with me, and he said, have you ever looked at porn? And I said, yes. And he said, what happened? And I said, I had a huge epiphany. And I was like, that's normal, right, Dad? And he goes, no. So, like, for the next 6 years, I walked around thinking there was something wrong with me because
It's not supposed to be.
because every time I got a boner, I was like, you stop it. Get back down. You weird.
You got to think about how,
Shaming
how
your boner.
your dad had a conversation
That's
with
funny.
your mom that night. They were lying in bed. And he's like, yeah, Trey said he watched porn and had an epiphany? A religious experience watching porn? I don't know.
He got the one thing men don't get, which is clarity.
I mean, thank God we have like 17 other children.
Yeah. We're going to write him off. It's like, oh my gosh. I kind of like the idea of shaming yourself for getting an erection or an epiphany.
Yeah.
The thing is, you can reference it as an epiphany through the rest of that set. You could, every time you bring up an erection, you're just like, every time I had an epiphany, I just shame myself.
Ooh, and then I can say, like, Jennifer Aniston, she gives me an epiphany.
I've gotten a couple epiphanies.
Waka, waka, waka. A couple epiphanies.
Get a couple epiphanies.
Got a pocket
It's
full
on
of
and off.
epiphanies.
Epiphany. Nope, not anymore.
A pocket full of epiphanies. That's good. Got a pocket full of epiphanies, dude. Oh, that's fun. I don't know if you're going to keep going down the epiphany. Mm-hmm. Is it cool if we bounce back to the sex that was self-taught?
Oh, yeah, please.
The first thing that came to mind was sex that was self-taught, and there wasn't a VeggieTales for it, which may be a good thing. But like, I kind of thought of like, what would a VeggieTales sex ed thing be? You got vegetables. You got Larry the cucumber. So I don't know, the idea of like
Larry the cucumber.
You relied. Your knowledge was Bible Man, and like in VeggieTales was your video source for learning things. And so they never talked about. I mean, I don't know. I feel like that could be some fun. A rabbit trail that to test.
I think that's perfect. They didn't have a VeggieTales for that. They totally could have.
They could have.
Larry the cucumber's right there.
That could be the whole joke. That could be exactly what you need.
Yeah. One thing you should try and fit in at some point is say raging epiphany.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you could, if you have a set later in the thing where it is the real definition of epiphany, but it also could be seen as both. Like it could be like a set ender. It's like, and that gave me a raging epiphany.
A raging epiphany.
I don't know. That's a great idea.
No, I love the idea of watching, having to like pick up context between VeggieTales and Bible Man.
What's going on here?
To figure out sex. No, that's great. No, there's a lot there. I honestly, like, I want to, next week, I want to write out more, like actually from the first 2 episodes we've done, like all the stuff you guys have already given feedback on, I'm actually going to try this week to flesh those out before I bring more new stuff because, I mean, I could literally do this for eternity. Just like I have so many joke ideas, which is great, but if you don't actually write them out, then they'll stay joke ideas.
Yeah, and that's a problem with me is that like if I do a joke and it's not doing well, I'm just like, all right, time to go do impressions. And I need to like get out of that zone and just like be comfortable with a little bit of silence and set up and stuff. But because it's hard sometimes.
Oh yeah, you never want to like go into something know you're going to eat it, if it, especially if you tried it before and it didn't work last time and you're trying it again. But it's so satisfying when it does work out, when you figure out like those couple words or changing the premise or solidifying the premise. There was one joke that I used to do all the time about Walmart moms, and it was about moms of Walmart and like how they have like their kids on leashes, and they're like a shopping cart chain gang essentially. And the first time I told that joke, it was absolute crickets. Like no one laughed, and I felt mean. Like I felt like I was being.
That's the worst.
If you guys can believe it, sometimes I have a premise that's a little edgy.
What?
Gosh, that's so funny.
But it's usually like if I'm like, okay, if I laugh at this, if there was something about this that made me laugh, I know that other people would laugh at this too. Not everyone, but there's something in here. And so even when I feel like I am offending people, or if I don't get the laughs, I just normally will just have to like double down on my gut and be like, no, it was the way I said it that it wasn't funny.
Right.
And so with that specific bit, I did it. There was this one open mic I used to go to every week, and so I did that joke and it completely bombed. And then I did it again the next week, and it was kind of like scattered laughs throughout. And then literally I did it one more time, and I got off stage and I was so excited because on stage I figured out what was wrong with the joke. I don't remember what it was, but it was like literally just a couple words. And so the next week I went back and did it again, and it killed. Like the whole room was like bouncing and everyone was laughing so hard. And it was like, I mean, I've done a lot of open mics and I performed in front of more people than were in that room at that time, but that was still probably my best ever set, like ever.
That's cool.
And and I'm like, I'm so glad that I continued to go back on that joke because it was there, it was just buried,
Yeah.
But it is painful to subject yourself to doing that.
Yep, it is. I've had some jokes where it's like, oh, this went really well the first time, and then the second time because it was almost like you were making it up on the fly a little bit how to deliver it. And you kind of found a natural way to say it, and then you try to force and recreate that the next night, and you're like, oh, well, that didn't work at all.
Yes.
So
I am so that way too, because there is like an excitement to when you're first, like a genuine excitement that the audience can like they can sense.
Yep.
And the second time you do it, it's like it's gone because you're just so in your head.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I totally get that.
It's hard to recapture that.
Yeah.
That authenticity. Magic. Yeah.
Offensive jokes. I love them. They're so fun. They're sketchy. The blind set I did, which I'll never do again.
Okay, but I think was that the time
I had a really good time with the good people, and then I did it in front of a bunch of serious people, and I was like, oh no.
I think I was there both times. You did it at the hub, and it killed.
That was fun.
And then
I did it at a spoken word thing when everyone was like really very serious there,
gosh.
And I went up there and I dropped my blind material.
Well, I mean, you shouldn't be doing any jokes at a spoken word.
That was the problem. I was like, all right, hey, do you want to do comedy right in the middle of like, Sarah Beth's going to have a spoken word about, this event that happened in her life that changed her mom dying. And then you're going to do some comedy, and then we're going to go to, doing comedy where it doesn't fit is.
Exactly.
Dude, one of my favorite times was after the country club, and it was just a terrible show, just so bad. And that old guy came up to us and was like, hey, good job, guys. And then he just sat there, he's like, yeah, comedy's hard.
Yeah.
Well, he said that and he walked away.
Everyone wants to.
Man, you're right.
Oh, man.
He's like, yep, comedy's hard.
Yeah. We were hoping like maybe he'll be like, good job, guys. That was actually like, I saw you. Like, I recognize you. He's like, it's hard.
It's hard.
It's not for the faint of heart.
Well.
And it's not for you guys.
Good night. I'm going to go home.
I told you about how I like super bombed a while ago here in Atlanta. Before that, the worst time I'd ever bombed was at my grandma's house.
Who was all there?
So it was my grandma's friends. So it was my grandpa's birthday.
I love that so much.
And they had all different. There was like a dozen, maybe 14 80-year-old people from Texas.
That's as nervous. And that's a scary crowd.
And so. It's a tough crowd, but my grandma was trying to get her speech ready, and she had all her papers out of order, and she was like, Mitchie, make him laugh. And so she was gone for like 5 minutes, and I had no idea I was going to do this, but I just started doing some like older impressions. Like I was doing like Jimmy Stewart.
Right.
And I was doing, I forget who else, but a bunch of old impressions. And then I was like, okay, all these people, they all know who George W. Bush is. Sold to George W. Bush. And, and I was doing, strategery and all that stuff. And they were just dead ass silent.
Oh, dude.
And like, they were like all laughing with my Jimmy Stewart and stuff. And every single one of them afterwards, they were like, Mitchie, you were awful funny, but you need to work on your George W. a little bit. Every single one of them.
Gosh, that's great.
I feel like you really misrepresented what the man stands for.
Yeah.
Yeah. You should take some time to listen to him.
Really,
and like looking back, I'm like, here's what I should have done. I should have done a George W. It was like, strategic. And then I should have like, here's my Obama. Oh, hello, I'm a big old stupid dum-dum head. And
they would have been like, yes. Now that is Obama. That is him. That sound. You nailed that. George Bush needs a little work, but Obama, man,
yeah,
nailed it.
Dude, that would be tough.
Performing in front of
my grandma just throwing me under the bus.
Like, oh, sick.
I actually want to do a joke about performing for, like, how people have zero idea of like the context of like in which stand-up's actually good. When they're like, you should come perform at our bridge game, like, and like the things that people, especially in Reading, like that they invite you to come do comedy at their wake or whatever. and
just want to lighten the mood.
Maybe I'll bring that one next time, because I actually do have something written out that's kind of funny. But like people just not understanding.
You mentioned like signs, like, and I found in my old journal, I wrote thing like, I love making fun of people who believe in signs a lot. Like horoscope, I hate it. I hate it. And so I'm like, the only thing, it's like the only sign, I have this thing where it's written down, it's like the only signs I need are traffic ones. And if you tell me your sign, that is equivalent to my exit. And so I don't need your sign. That you tell me you're Scorpio, oh, I'm off. Like I'm peeling off.
Oh, uninterested.
But then just making fun of people who are like, oh yeah, religion is so stupid. I could never be religious, could never do it. What's your horoscope? Oh, I'm a Cancer. And it's like, yeah. I was just talking about how people, I like making fun of, I've done jokes where I make fun of the Enneagram, the ENFP, but like even tying that in to be like, people say like they like to live out of a box and then instantly box themselves in as many things as they can. Just like this is who I am. And then it justifies their shitty behavior. And I think just pointing that out, like just connecting all of the things together to make a huge, like if you could create a character that was like, a girl who is a Scorpio, who is a ENTJ, that is a number 4 on the thing, and then just and then just roast her. Like just create a character, have her deliver it, and then just I don't know.
Dude, that'd be so funny. Character would be kind of fun. Could talk about trying to date her, like she's really hot.
Yeah, like
or she's just driving you away with even the way you just said she's a 4 on the thing.
She's like, 4. She's a 4 on the Enneagram, a 10 on the hotness scale. She's a 10, but she's a 4. Ugh, Anyway. That's
I can't stand that freaking list, that number thing.
Yeah, Enneagram.
I hate it so much.
It's like
really, I thought you got into it for a while. I thought you and Aaron talked about it for a minute.
I found out my numbers just so I could be like, this is the dumbest. Sorry.
Oh, that's such a sick thing
I've
to say.
ever heard.
Oh, you must be a 6, huh?
And yeah,
you must be a
total 6.
Because I was talking to this guy about it, and I was like, yeah, in some situations I might be a 3 or whatever, but in other situations I'm gonna be a 5. It's like it depends. Everyone is so different depending on their situation.
Yeah,
and that's the thing. This thing is so vague. Like, oh, you're always gonna be a pushover no matter what. It's like, well, not if I'm around my brother. Yeah. It's like things like that, they change.
Yeah. People love finding things just to justify their behavior. Oh, well. Oh, well, you know why I'm an asshole. Oh, you don't? Well, I'm an 8. So now you know. I'm glad we cleared that out. Waiter. Sorry.
Yeah.
Waiter. Sorry. Sorry, total 8 here. Waiter. Now. Waiter. Sorry, guys. Such an 8. Such an 8. Waiter. The snaps. Oh my gosh.
No, there's a lot there. I have a personality test joke somewhere buried in the archives. But that's not for tonight though.
Not for tonight.
Plus my computer's dead. How you guys feeling? You guys feeling good?
I feel great. Yeah. I feel really good. I feel like I want to be more. I feel like I want to be more prepared for this. Instead of napping 2 hours before and waking up to Lord of the Rings and then coming.
It sounds like you really needed that nap, though.
I did. Felt
you
very
are
good.
Healing. You're recovering from
I need that.
Your diseases.
That is so true. And I am such a 7.
Yeah, and you're a total 7.
I'm a total 7. And it makes sense that I would do that because of
7's now.
Such a 7. Oh my gosh, what a 7 thing to do.
We laugh. This is going to turn into an Enneagram podcast.
I change my number every time I say it. Oh my gosh, freaking dude. I'm so 3 sometimes.
I'm really bad at wiping, but typical 5.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, and just start scrubbing the eyes. Anyways, so dumb. Hey, we avoided buttholes tonight.
We didn't touch.
We didn't touch
any buttholes.
Way to go, you guys.
Well, I mean, now we kind of have.
Well,
which is fine.
Hey,
I am
good. Check.
I'm always down.
It was on your to-do list today.
Check. Bring it up.
Talk about b-holes.
Do we have any so question of the day, that's kind of a thing we're trying to do.
Doesn't have to be something we try to do.
I mean, I wouldn't mind a little theme here or there, you know.
Yeah.
I think
we just bring it in when we want and we forget it when we don't. We forget it when we forget that it's even a thing.
And you know what, that's fine. And it's fine. It's okay to forget things.
Absolutely.
You know
total
what?
4.
It's a total 4 move. Just forget things. And it's okay. And I've learned to live with that. I've learned to accept it because it's who I am.
All right, guys, let's call it.
Yeah.
Guys are phenomenal as always. You make me laugh so much.
Let's do a little like a name off, you know, like we'll each say our name and then we'll be like, good night, guys, you know, like a little send off.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah.
Start us, lead us.
Yeah, I don't know what you mean.
All right.
So go for it.
Well, this has been Mitchell Mack.
So you're done.
Oh,
so
like
you're
one
done,
name
so
at a
you're done-
time.
So you just say your name.
Yeah, we're doing like one name.
So I thought you had a little
One
call
name at a
sign that
time.
you were gonna say like Mitchell Mack call sign. Oh, but just
Oh
the
no,
name.
I'm just
Okay,
I'm
name.
just saying like
Cool.
this has been Mitchell Mack
Evan Pearson
And Trey Ellis. And you are.
and we are
out
of here.